WHAS 11 Weather First.
Good evening, I'm meteorologist Colleen Peterson. Today is the last day of winter and it's saying, hey, yeah, we're showing it. We're seeing some scattered flurries across town, getting multiple reports, but thankfully it's not impactful, just super cold out with some moisture. Right now we're at 37 degrees here in downtown. We were looking at the flurries live on this camera, but it has lightened up here across town. It feels like the 20s and it's only going to get colder tonight. I'll tell you how cold it will be for your Tuesday morning. WHAS 11 News at 5 starts now.
Right here at 5, our top story, the Republican-backed proposal to make Kentucky safer is raising concerns even among one conservative criminal justice group. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Shay McAllister. Also tonight, one of the bill's strong supporters admits to us the extensive bill does have some drawbacks. Senior reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez has been following the developments in Frankfort. Isaiah, this bill is no stranger to pushback.
Well, Shay, you're absolutely right, and neither are its sponsors. House Bill 5, also known as the Safer Kentucky Act, is now destined to become law. But that's not without questions whether it'll be effective, particularly given the officer shortage we're seeing across departments.
House Bill 5 as amended is passed.
Every step of the way, Kentucky's sweeping anti-crime bill has simultaneously seen major support.
I don't care about the data. I don't. Crime is too high in Kentucky.
And opposition, including in its passage on the Senate floor.
And instead of addressing anything that is a root cause of crime or will actually make our communities safer, it just locks people up.
But Joey Comley,
I'm a career soldier turned lawyer,
seen here testifying about House Bill 5, shares another perspective.
You do not deter criminal activity by the threat of punishment. The threat of getting caught? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Comley is the Kentucky State Director for Right on Crime, an advocacy group pushing for conservative criminal justice solutions. He believes in stiff consequences for violent offenders, but tells me without the proper staffing, this bill won't effectively prevent violence.
And I think until we plus up the number of police officers, until we enhance some of their training, until we add detectives, we're really never going to get ahead of crime such that we're deterring it. We're punishing it in this bill. That's a fact, but that's about all I can say.
Sponsors of the Safer Kentucky Act say it'll help get a handle on shootings and carjackings, rates that haven't come down to pre-COVID levels. The extensive bill focuses on increasing penalties, including a 3 strikes provision and criminalization of street camping.
The law enforcement, I think, finally feels like they're being heard. We keep running into repeat offenders over and over and over again.
Ryan Straw, vice president of the Kentucky State FOP, has endorsed the bill, but he admits to me there are certainly drawbacks.
You know, the homeless provision of the bill, that was something that was a real struggle for our membership. It may put our officers in a position where we have to do a lot more work where we're really not going to get the best outcome that we're looking for.
An important note here, both Comley and Straw believe even if it becomes law, this will not be the Safer Kentucky Act's final form. They predict some substantial tweaks in the years to come. So we're potentially talking about more time and resources spent in future legislative sessions. Doug.
Isaiah, thank you very much. Continuing our coverage today, we asked Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear about the Safer Kentucky Act and whether or not he's going to sign the legislation if it comes across his desk. He says he hasn't seen the most recent version of the bill, but one aspect of it right now is causing him to ask some questions.
We expect if House Bill 5 becomes law, there's going to be a significant increase in corrections costs. Our budget does not include those, and there's an actual limitation for what overruns can be without calling a special session of the General Assembly. So if they're going to ask the executive branch to house more inmates, they're going to need to provide the funding to do it.
The governor also said while he wants Kentucky to be a safer place, he needs to make sure the legislation actually accomplishes that goal. Right now, an amended version of the bill sits in the Kentucky House for final approval. If passed, it will then head to Beshear's desk.
Now to the deadly shooting at Caesars Southern Indiana Casino in Harrison County. Today we learned the victim was a father from Louisville.
Today, WHAS 11's Ian Hardwitt spoke to the investigating sheriff, joined by the victim's grieving family.
He made his music, made his clothes, and he took care of his daughter.
Lil Don Williams died early Sunday morning in the parking garage at Caesars, southern Indiana. Police say 2 masked people with rifles ambushed him.
They approached Mr. Williams and he tried to flee on foot. They cornered him and they shot him down in that parking lot.
For the most part, everybody loved him. There wasn't anybody who could genuinely say anything bad against him.
Lil Don, with his family and friends, went to the casino after a Saturday night concert in Louisville. But early Sunday morning, police say 2 people followed Lil Don to Caesars, waited for him for 3 hours to come out. Around 4 a.m., they fired. The sheriff said the people who killed Lil Don took his car afterward. They're actively searching for it now, a 2013 black and silver Dodge Charger with black louvers on the rear windshield. That's a series of black slats covering up the rear glass.
Since the inception of the boat over 25 years ago, the gaming casino, we have never had a homicide there. So this is an isolated incident where an individual was targeted, hunted down, and executed.
Leaving his family in tears, wondering why. In Harrison County, Ian Hardwick, WHAS 11, on your side.
If you have any information on this case, such as the location of that black and silver Dodge Charger, you can call the Harrison County Sheriff.
And we have their number for you right now. You're seeing it on the bottom of your screen. It's 812-738-3911.
More news right here at 5 o'clock. A former bishop of a historic church faced a judge today. Jonathan Mullins has been charged with arson in connection to a church fire investigators believe he set 3 years ago. That fire happened in March of 2021. The Greater New Hope Community Church on East Jacob Street was destroyed in the fire. Prosecutors say evidence uncovered in the investigation led to these charges. If convicted, Mullins could face 20 to 50 years or even life in prison. Today in court, citing his lack of criminal history, the judge released him without requiring him to post bond.
Mr. Mullins is here without even really receiving proper notice. He has an attorney. He has 0 criminal history at all. This case is 3 years old. I don't know why the delay in charging. There could be a number of reasons, but in any event, the fact that only a $1,000 warrant was requested indicates to me that he was not considered much of a danger by the Commonwealth's attorney. His lack of record indicates the same thing.
Mullins' next court date was set for May the 15th. The Utica Township Volunteer Firefighters Association is now asking a judge to step in and remove Jamie Knoll from a credit card holder on their account.
Talking about the former Clark County, Indiana sheriff, of course. This is the organization Knoll ran for several years until he was placed on leave in November, fully removed in January. Focus reporter Travis Breeze is here right now. And Travis, why do they believe they need to do this?
Well, Doug and Shay, the organization says Knoll has made purchases using those cards this year, and he is refusing to return them. They don't know how much money they will be asking for, but it could be the full sum that Knoll is alleged to have misused. In a new civil lawsuit, Jamie Knoll's former organization accusing him of continuing to use credit cards after he was no longer an employee. They apparently made numerous attempts to no avail. Utica Township VFA and New Chapel EMS new CEO Matt Owen said last week they had, quote, isolated these cards from the organization, but American Express won't even talk to them because Knoll is the registered card holder. The lawsuit asks to be refunded for all purchases since January, but over the phone Monday, Owen said they may seek to expand it to the total amount that Knoll is accused of spending on himself. State police say that's over $3.5 million. When we asked Owen if UTVFA is in credit card debt, he said, quote, there is a balance, but would not elaborate. He also would not comment on if Knoll turned in any credit card receipts while he was the CEO for many years, saying, I think that will come out in the criminal case. So the ultimate goal for the fire and EMS entity is that a judge would step in and send an order to American Express directing them to remove Jamie Knoll as a card holder. This is a civil lawsuit and it is in Judge Kyle Williams' courtroom, so he will have to decide whether to stay on it or if he has a reason to recuse himself. In the studio, Travis Breeze, WHAS 11 on your side.
Travis, thank you. Wind chill factors, snow flurries darting all across Kentuckiana since this morning. March is supposed to be wild around here, and today it is proving it.
I feel like we're living up to it. We had tornadoes at the end of the week. We had gorgeous sunshine over the weekend. And hello flurries today, Colleen.
I know, and it's the last day of winter, so how fitting for it to have some flurries on that radar. Not impactful, and in fact, it's pretty scattered, mainly into southern Indiana, but we've had reports of flakes over in Prospect, across town here in Jefferson County, as well as over in Frankfort. So it's pretty scattered. Here's a live look at that radar, just seeing some flurries out there. Maybe a little bit more in some areas than others, like over in Newcastle and Frankfort. We're starting to get some of those darker blue color, so maybe a light snow shower being picked up. But here in Jefferson County, all we're seeing is maybe an isolated flake here or there around Prospect and Fern Creek and even in downtown. It's cold enough to see it. We are 37 right now here in downtown, 35 in Bowman, 35 in E-Town. But when we have the wind around 20 miles per hour, we're seeing those wind gusts consistently. It feels like the mid to upper 20s. So right now we have, it feels like the 20s. So you definitely want to bundle up here for the next few hours. So throughout the rest of the evening, we'll continue to see those scattered flurries here until past 8 p.m. I think that's when we'll start to see those clouds break, which will allow our temperatures then to cool off with some clear skies overnight tonight. So a low of 28 tomorrow morning, 25 in Shelbyville and 25 in LaGrange. However, it's going to feel like the low 20s. So make sure your kids are bundled up at that bus stop. Maybe wait with them in the nice heat because it's going to be a cold start. We have some sunshine in store tomorrow afternoon. I'll tell you what that will do to our temperatures coming up. Doug, Shay.
Thank you, Colleen. More local news here tonight at 5. Bullitt County now has its first inpatient hospital, U of L Health South as it's being called, opened this morning. Now, this is a new 100,000 square foot expansion to U of L South's outpatient facility. The new facility houses 30 patient beds and 10 ICU beds on the third floor, along with expanded services, which include specialized care for heart and lung patients. 2 more operating rooms in the emergency room.
I think it'll be great. Gotcha. Instead of having to go over to the east end or go over to Poplar level, whatever, to see your doctor, whatever, or downtown, they'll come here.
U of L health officials say that the work down here on this campus isn't complete. There's space for another 20 rooms and the possibility to build a 4th floor onto the facility. Well, today, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear was in Louisville sharing his top priorities for his second term as governor at the Greater Louisville, Inc. Capital Connection event.
GLI says those Capital Connection events are all about connecting local businesses to elected leaders. During today's event, Beshear said he wants to continue what he's calling Kentucky's economic win streak. He says growth like what the Commonwealth is seeing right now can help create intergenerational change.
We're getting the calls first, and we're winning more than we're losing. And you can see it in the rankings. 2022, number 2 in the country in per capita economic development, us, Kentucky. 2023, number 3 per capita in the United States of America.
Governor Beshear went on to advocate for providing a raise for Kentucky's public school teachers, saying Kentucky cannot stay on its winning streak if the teachers are not taken care of.
Just ahead tonight, U of L students protesting against a bill that could affect what could be used to train university faculty members in the future. We're going to take you to the local protests next.
And new information about a missing college student in Nashville, what citizens investigators found on the banks of the river over the weekend.
Your Mega Millions jackpot, $875 million, Powerball, $645 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, providing over $4.8 billion in grants and scholarships.
Right now, there's just so much happening in our world.
So much at stake at the start of every morning. And so much happening
right here in Kentuckiana.
Making sense of it all, that's not always so easy.
And that's where we come in. Getting you the news as it breaks.
What happened overnight.
What's going to happen today.
Starting your day off bright.
And yes, putting a smile on your face too.
Good morning, Kentuckiana, and good morning, America.
We want you to know that every morning
we're right here and we got you.
Yep, we got you, Kentuckiana.
The Kentucky Lottery, providing over $4.8 billion in grants and scholarships.
New Bath Today is your trusted Kohler walk-in bath provider. Look at the ultra-low 3-inch step-in, 10 adjustable hydrotherapy jets. Plus, with Kohler Luxstone walls made from crushed stone, enjoy added beauty and style, backed by Kohler's lifetime limited warranty. Call now for installation in as little as 1 day. Plus, during our triple savings sale, you'll save 3 ways. First, save $500 on Kohler Luxstone shower walls with purchase of a new Kohler walk-in bath. Second, buy now, pay later with 0 down, 0% interest and 0 payments for 12 months. Third, receive a $200 Walmart gift card with purchase and a bonus. Call during this program and receive $1,000 in instant savings on your new Kohler walk-in bath. Throughout the Kentuckiana area, call New Bath today at 800-823-1147. That's 800-823-1147.
Hallo, I only trust one place with meine key. Meine key. Meine key und meine key. I'm freaking out. They do the engines, the brakes, the tires, the oil, and I do the uncomfortable looming. Hey, hello. I only trust meine key with meine key. Hey, does anyone want a coffee?
Hi, Dr. Brad Harmon at Harmon Dental Center. One of the most frequent questions I get asked is how much do full mouth implants cost? And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There are numbers involved. But remember, this is an investment in your health and your future. At our practice, we're here to deliver smiles, not put you in the poorhouse. That's why we have a team of implant coordinators. They're awesome at finding financial solutions for patients who don't think they'll be financially approved for implants. If you think you're a candidate for full mouth implants, we're just a quick phone call away to help you on your new smile journey.
Today, U of L students and staff members rallied against Senate Bill 6 in Kentucky. That bill would limit diversity, equity, and inclusion politics at Kentucky universities. Now, it would ban trainings and orientations for colleges that discuss topics like white privilege and sexism.
This is not a bill that serves Kentucky well. It doesn't serve us now, and it won't serve us well in the future.
About 100 students started at the Student Activity Center in Louisville and then marched to the administration building at U of L. They want the university to issue a statement condemning the legislation as strong as the one the University of Kentucky president did a month ago. U of L President Dr. Kim Schatzel did release a statement about a month ago, but students feel recent statements from U of L have fallen short of that. And one student thinks if the bill passes, their Culture and Equity Center staff might be eliminated.
I think we will definitely lose our quality faculty, and they will leave to go to colleges that they can fully and completely teach these extremely necessary topics, such as like white privilege or the history of oppression in America.
The bill passed the full House on Friday and just needs the Kentucky Senate to agree with the amended version. If that happens, it will likely then become law. The University of Louisville released a statement in response to the rally today saying in part, quote, "We firmly believe that you cannot deliver a high-quality university education without a diverse classroom and campus, inclusive of all demographics, identities, and ideologies. Only in such circumstances and with such experiences will our students be prepared to foster their own and others' excellence in a diverse global economy." End quote from you.
Right now, Metro Council members are hearing final arguments as they decide whether or not to remove Anthony Piagentini on ethics violations. Piagentini's attorneys rested their case at the end of last week. The councilman's accused of using his public office to leverage a new job at the Louisville Healthcare CEO Council. One of the final witnesses was Rick Remmers, a senior advisor for the CEOC. In his testimony, Remmers revealed Piagentini no longer works for that company.
And is Mr. Piagentini still working for the CEOC?
No, it was a one-year contract.
Piagentini co-sponsored an ordinance to secure the CEOC $40 million in grant funding, only to recuse himself from the final vote, and then took a job with that company. He was later found guilty of ethics violations. 18 yes votes from Metro Council members are needed for Piagentini's removal. We do have a crew currently at Council Court, and we'll provide an update once we have one.
Well, say goodbye to the blooms that have already come out, especially with temperatures going down into the 20s.
Yeah, Especially if I already see some people having plants on their porch. Bring them in tonight because it is going to be pretty cold tonight.
And it was a tease over the weekend. We even undid our water hose thinking we were safe, but maybe not.
Yeah, no, it's March. It's a toss-up with this kind of weather. And even into April, it's not until May where we start to get some consistent warm weather here across town. But right now, today is the last day of winter, and it is sure feeling like it. We have temperatures in the 30s and some scattered flurries on that radar. So we have been getting reports across town, just a few flakes up in the sky. I don't even think any of these are some light snow showers. Right now, some flurries across Paoli to Salem and over to Scottsburg. Even in downtown, we're getting some reports over in Prospect that we're seeing a few flakes. Over in Frankfort, maybe a light snow shower that's being picked up on that radar when we start to get some of those blue colors being picked up around town. So a few flakes across town, really hard to see on any of our cameras because of how small they are and how few of them are up in the sky. Right now, we're at 37 here in downtown. After seeing some warm temperatures on Saturday, we're starting out the week with some cold temperatures, and it's only going to get colder as the night goes on. Right now, we have wind chills in the 20s, so it's actually pretty windy, a little uncomfortable, to be honest, if you're heading out for an evening stroll. So make sure to bundle up and even put those sweaters on your dogs. It is going to be a pretty cold night, so we'll continue to see the flurries here for the next hour or so. Past 8 p.m., I think we'll start to see those clouds clear overnight tonight, which will allow our temperatures to plummet into the 20s. So we have a low of 28 degrees here, maybe 25 in some of our rural communities, but this is what it's going to feel like. Low 20s for your wind chills tomorrow morning. So over the next few hours, those clouds will clear and those flurries will start to clear out by 10 p.m. Will be mostly clear, and then tomorrow morning, temperatures in the 20s. As we head towards the afternoon, beautiful sunshine in store, high of 57 degrees. So after a cold start, it is going to feel still a little cold because we still have that wind gust around 30 miles per hour from the southwest. So that 57 might feel like 47. But if you want a day where we don't have too much wind, you're going to have to wait till Wednesday. A weak cold front is passing through, which is just going to reinforce and keep the cooler air in the 50s around for your Wednesday afternoon, staying in the low to mid 50s, but at least that wind will back off and it's not going to be too uncomfortable outside. Thursday, same scenario, staying in the 50s, only a few more clouds, but the rain will stay away until this Friday. Some scattered light rain. We're tracking a low pressure system that will clip us off far to the south, so maybe a few light showers in that forecast. Overall tonight, it is going to be a cold setup. We have temperatures in the 20s, wind chills in the low 20s. So I think the main takeaway is tomorrow morning, if you have kids that wait at the bus stop, even for 5 minutes, it's going to feel pretty cold. So just keep that in mind for them. Tomorrow we'll be in the mid 50s with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. So that 57 is going to feel like 47, but at least that wind will start to go away by Wednesday.